Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister just told a room full of young Canadians that they're going to have to make sacrifices. Well, after 10 years of the Liberal government, they've already had to sacrifice the dream of owning a home. They've already had to sacrifice their modest expectations of living in a safe community. They've already had to sacrifice an economy where the cost of living is manageable and good-paying jobs are easy to find. So my question for the Prime Minister is, when he made these comments, what additional sacrifices for young Canadians did he have in mind?
Good job. Good job. Secretary of State for Sport.
What the leader of the Conservatives doesn't seem to get is that Canadians use hope and hard work and sacrifice every single day to build up our country and our communities. But when the failed former MP from Carleton lost his seat, Mr. Speaker, he didn't have to make any sacrifices or be accountable. He didn't even learn a lesson clearly. But when his constituents fired him, he should have maybe paused and reflected a little bit. But since he didn't lose his home in taxpayer-funded non-market housing, I guess that's why he continued to deny it to millions of Canadians, Mr. Speaker. Maybe that failed and flailing Conservative leader should join some students in a class, because it seems like 20 years in this House, after 20 years in this House, he can learn a thing or two about hard work.
Yeah. The Honourable Member for North Island, Powell River.
I guess, Mr. Speaker, one of the things we also have to sacrifice are answers in question period. After 10 years of Liberal government, we've had a cost of living crisis. We've had an addictions crisis that's left 50,000 Canadians, mainly young Canadians, dead from drug overdoses. And now we have a growing youth jobs crisis, with youth unemployment surging to 14.7%, the highest level in 15 years. If young Canadians could barely afford to put a roof over their head and food on their table when they are working, how are they going to be able to afford it when they're out of a job?
Good job.
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Prime Minister.
If we find it a little bit rich that the Conservative Party is going to stand up and talk about youth when they consistently vote against the measures that this government has introduced that actually matter to young Canadians in this country. They voted against budget measures that actually support young skilled trade workers. They voted against the Canada Child Benefit. They vote against national school food programs. They vote against programs that are ensuring dental programs, Canada Housing Benefit. We have a plan to build up this country. We have a plan to build major national projects. There is a bright and hopeful future for youth in this country, notwithstanding the fact that Conservatives don't want to join us in those measures to make it happen, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Member for York Durham.
Well, Mr. Speaker, despite all these programs, the Prime Minister still went to students yesterday and gave them a message: you must sacrifice more. Well, the next generation has sacrificed enough. They've sacrificed the dream of home ownership. They've sacrificed the dream of starting a family. He might as well have said, let them eat cake. Well, then, if the next generation has sacrificed enough after 10 years, will the Prime Minister reverse course, get his spending under control so that the next generation of young Canadians can afford to feed themselves and own a home?
The Honourable Minister of International Trade.
Mr. Speaker, our new government is supporting young Canadians with the skills and opportunities they need to build their futures. That's why when the Prime Minister announced on campus just yesterday that we'll double Canada's non-U.S. exports over the next decade, it mattered. We're talking about 2/3 of our economy driven by international trade. It means millions of jobs and more careers in communities across Canada producing the goods that the world wants to buy. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Member for York Durham.
The only thing this government is doubling is the debt that the next generation will have to pay. So-called generational investment, that is just generational debt and generational inequality. In fact, Habitat for Humanity now says 70% of Canadians say owning a home is impossible. And for those that rent, they saw a 5% increase year over year, Mr. Speaker. That is the result of Liberal policies. Will the Prime Minister sacrifice his policies rather than the future of the next generation?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Speaker, when we talk about making generational investments in our upcoming budget, it's because we believe on this side of the House that youth and young people are the drivers of our future economic growth, and we have a responsible plan to ensure that they have the skills and opportunities to succeed. It builds on the work that we're doing to support apprenticeships and red seal trades, co-ops, and access to post-secondary education and training. But most importantly, we're creating thousands of new career-starting jobs, investing in major projects, and making it more affordable for young people to buy a home. Housing starts, construction, investment, wages are up. This is part of our plan. We've got more to do.